Folks, welcome into Bookmakers Review, and this is our Bookmakers Review NBA show. I am Kyle Purviance. I will be joined shortly by Junior Browne, and we are your BMR NBA team. First things first, before we get into everything, I want to say thank you for all of your support. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel, liking the videos. We certainly appreciate that here. If you have not done so already and you're watching us on the YouTube page, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That helps us more than you know. We certainly appreciate that. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at BMR Reviews as well if you're watching on our Twitter feed. Thank you all so very much. Of course, it's New Year's Eve, so I want to say cheers to you all. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I'm wishing you all a happy and safe New Year's. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Make sure you behave yourself tonight. Also, I hear there's some chatter. I have done a bad job at looking at the comment section. I'm not seeing the comments right now, so I apologize for that. But I heard there's a beard crew and a non-beard crew. For those of you who love the beard, don't worry, it grows back pretty fast. And for those of you who don't like the beard, well, we'll have to ask the old missus here and see what she thinks. Maybe it'll work out your way. Maybe it won't. But seriously, thank you all so much. Be sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification as well. As soon as we go live, you get notified. It makes it a whole lot easier to follow along with what we are doing here at BMR and growing this channel. So real quick, let's recap what happened yesterday. Obviously, we had a 4-game slate reduced down to 3 games due to the COVID outbreak for the Nuggets. So the Nuggets-Warriors game was off. So we had 3 games yesterday. We had the Sixers and the Nets. Obviously, we went head-to-head here on the show. I was fortunate enough to get that win. The Sixers go ahead and not only cover the 5.5 points, but they get the win behind a massive game from Joel Embiid. Of course, James Harden's triple-double is all for naught for Brooklyn as the Sixers win 110-102. In the middle game, of not a big surprise here, the Bucks, they did cover that huge spread. They blow out Orlando 136-118, massive game from Giannis. Wendell Carter was leading the way for Orlando, just not enough as they were beaten by 18 points. And finally, the last game, look, the Cavaliers just decimated by injuries and COVID. And you could see that rear its ugly head yesterday. Washington got a few players back. Washington went ahead and blew out the Wizards 110-93 behind a huge comeback game for Bradley Beal. So that was our recap of yesterday. Today we're going to cover a few games. We'll touch on some a little bit later here, but let's go ahead and jump to our first game that starts here in about a half an hour on New Year's Eve. It's an early start here. We have the Suns at the Celtics. We've got the Suns as 3.5-point favorites on the road against Boston. Some of the news in this one, DeAndre Ayton still out for Phoenix. JaVale McGee is also going to be out. So the young guy, Jalen Smith, who's been a rebounding machine, is going to start for Phoenix. And look, for me, I know Boston's getting some players back. Al Horford, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown will be there. Marcus Smart will play without a minutes restriction with that hand issue. But for me, no Jason Tatum, no Boston Celtics. Now, I do think Boston will have the advantage inside, and it makes me a little bit nervous to jump on the Suns, but it's my official play. I've got the Suns minus 3.5 today. Too much of an advantage in that backcourt. I think that Devin Booker and Chris Paul can get off here today. A little bit shorthanded in the front court for Phoenix, but they are just so good. They find ways to win. I think the 3.5 is a little short. Boston's still trying to find its way. So I'm big on Boston here. The key or big on the Suns here, and I know Junior likes the Suns as well if he's not able to make it before this game goes, but Junior likes the Suns as well. That's an official play that he has up on our show sheet as well. So I know both Junior and I are on the same page liking the Suns. A couple things I'm looking at here. If you're just looking at props, Jalen Smith, his rebounding prop is high. It's at 10.5. He should get there. He's been getting 9, 10, 12 rebounds every day when he's playing, and now he's going to get starter minutes and get heavy minutes without JaVale McGee or Ayton there. His rebound props at 10.5 at minus 135. I do think that makes a little bit of sense. Al Horford and Robert Williams III should have success in the interior. I do like Al Horford over 14.5 points minus 125. Since he's been back on the list, he's been putting up huge numbers for Boston. That's where Boston's going to have the advantage. Of course, Jaylen Brown can score on anybody, but we'll have to see if he's able to weave his way around that tough Phoenix defense. You'll see a lot of Michael Bridges, I think, on Jaylen Brown. It's going to make things tough. It'll be an interesting matchup to watch. But right now, as we sit, I like the Suns minus 3.5. And I know that Junior does as well. So that's it for our first game here. And don't worry if we go a little short here without Junior. We'll cover a couple of the extra games that I don't have on the list. But let's head to our next game, which starts here in just a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, 3 o'clock, 3:10 Eastern, around noon Pacific time. We've got the Bulls and the Pacers. We've got the Bulls favored by 3.5. Malcolm Brogdon still out in this game. We've got some players out on the wing for the Pacers, and that just benefits the Bulls. I was really close to making this official for me. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, healthy. Still no Lonzo Ball for Chicago. They are doing just fine without him. Colby White will step in and fill that void. And I just think the Bulls are the better team here. The Pacers cannot guard anybody. I think the 3.5 is a little bit short. I like the Bulls in the first quarter. All they have to do is win the quarter. It's a minus 0.5 in the first quarter. I think the Bulls can certainly get there. Now, the Pacers, we know where their advantage is going to be. Vucevic versus Sabonis and Miles Turner. Miles Turner and Sabonis should be able to have their way inside. Vucevic, more of that stretch 5 type of player. It's going to pull Turner or Sabonis, whomever they decide to put on him, away. So that's going to hurt their rebound props just a little bit here. But for me, too much offense for the Bulls. They're just too good of a team. When I'm looking at some team totals for this game, I was really close to pulling the trigger on the Bulls. Their team total's pretty low, 112.5 at minus 105. You can get at 111.5, minus 120. I think those team totals are alive. I think the Bulls score points this afternoon. That 2-game slate, Javonte Green's a little bit of a value play you can play. Jalen Smith in that first game we talked about is a value play for DFS. And for the Pacers, you could be looking at a spot start for Torrey Craig today. So keep an eye on some of those Torrey Craig props. He should get extra minutes tonight. And I like him in DFS, really cheap on both FanDuel and DraftKings. But for me, as we sit, it's Bulls or nothing. Nothing about the Pacers makes me want to back this team. I think the Bulls get it done here, and I think that 3.5 line is a little bit short. Let's move on to our next one, the Hawks and the Cavaliers, shall we? So let's have a drink. It's New Year's Eve, shall we? You guys are safe. I don't know if the weather is like it is out here. The roads are icy. There's snow everywhere. So this is going to be a stay at home. Probably play some inappropriate board games, some Card Against Humanity, something like that, and have a little bit of fun. So let's head to our next game here. Hawks at the Cavs. Obviously, the Cavaliers are on a back-to-back. They were blown out last night against the Wizards. And look, quite frankly, I don't think they should be the favorite in this one. The Hawks are starting to get some of their players back. Trae Young, of course, came back before the last game. Clint Capella is there. They're getting Lou Williams off the bench back a little bit. So the Hawks are starting to round into form. Now, the concern for the Hawks, they are a putrid, and I mean putrid, road team. They struggle mightily on the road. But for the Cavaliers, where's the production from the backcourt coming from? You saw today they just made a trade for Rajon Rondo. Obviously, he's not going to make his debut tonight, so it's going to be that same sort of backcourt for the Cavaliers. And there's Junior's beautiful face. Happy New Year to you, my man. I'll go to you in just a second. I told everyone that you're on the Suns like I am, but I'll have you tell everyone why, so we don't make this show too short today. But for the Cavaliers, real quickly, what I was touching on, just where's the production in the backcourt? Rondo's not going to make that debut. And then on the other side, the Hawks are so bad on the road, 7-10 on the road. They've been doing a little bit better. But this is a tough spot here. I would lean the Hawks and the plus 1.5 and lean them on the money line. Junior, let's bring you in here. I've covered the Suns, Celtics, Bulls, Pacers. Let's go to that first game. You like the Suns as well as I do. Did you want to tell everyone why you like the Suns? Oh, you got to unmute yourself. Love that.
Of course I do. You said, why am I on the Suns? My answer to that question is, why not?
Yeah.
What's there not to like about Phoenix right now? The way that they've been playing, combined with the weird turmoil going on in Boston, players chirping. Al Horford said we need to look within ourselves. Jalen Brown's like, what's Al Horford talking about? I don't know what he's saying. And if you want to go to more recent history, last night they're down. They're actually up at one point. They're up 1. Then they get down a little bit. Like 2 minutes left. They're down 4. And I'm looking at the box score, right? Because I'm like, how are they even in this game, bro? These guys shot 1 for 18 from 3 in the fourth quarter, and this is after they were 3 for 26, 24 in the first 3 quarters. Yeah. So if you guys are bad at math, what I'm trying to say is they set the new NBA record for worst 3-point shooting night in history, going, 4 for 42? That's like 9.5%. The Celtics are lost. And if there's one thing that the Phoenix Suns are not, that is lost. So I think that line is super short. I see it keeps coming down. I'm not really sure why. I love the Suns I pretty much max bet the Suns.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not going to pretend like the Suns have been playing perfect, because they haven't. They're just much better than the Celtics.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the one concern I have, I took the Suns as well as an official play. I guess the one concern I have is just how thin they are on the front court. Jalen Smith will start tonight for JaVale McGee. So Robert Williams and Al Horford should be able to have good games. So I sort of like their rebounding props and their scoring props. That should be where the production comes from, is the front court for Boston. Will Jalen Browne and Marcus Smart's back, so that's a nice help for the defense. But I still like the Suns here. I think too much Phoenix and just not enough for Boston.
Yeah, and also the Boston front court doesn't scare me at all. The reality is they might start some big guys sometimes, but their best lineup is a small ball lineup. They'll always play small ball, especially with Jason Tatum out also, and Schroeder out. They just need bodies in there, so they kind of don't even have a choice but to play a smaller lineup, which is fine by the Suns. Let's get Boston out of here. And the Bulls-Pacers game, because I know I'm late, so I'm kind of holding the show up right now. Bulls-Pacers, I got over 221.5. There's no defense being played by the Pacers. I don't trust the Pacers. I trust the Bulls all the way. I do obviously kind of have some trepidation that the Bulls defense might hold the Pacers to a lower score, but the reality is what the Pacers do well is the Bulls' one weakness right now as their roster is made up, which is their interior defense. So I think the Pacers can do enough to get this number over the total. I know the Bulls will. It's whether or not the Pacers will hold up their end of the bargain, which I think they will. 221.5 I don't think is enough points, so I took the over in that spot.
Yeah, and that one, Chris Duarte is also out, so Torrey Craig could get a spot start. So, maybe touch on some. You might get a depressed line on some of those Torrey Craig props. But I'm with you. I think it's Bulls or nothing. I think that line's I was close to being my official play today as well. The Bulls minus 3.5, so I like that quite a bit. And on this Hawks-Cavs game, I just started talking about Cavs got blown out last night. Made the trade for Rondo today. They obviously need a massive amount of help in that backcourt right now with Garland, Sexton, and now Ricky Rubio out. I got to lean the Hawks to plus 1.5. I don't like the Hawks at home or on the road, but you got the Cavs on a back-to-back. And who in that backcourt slowing down Trae Young or Bogdanovich or Huter? I don't see it. I think the Hawks probably win this game outright, and I'll take the 1.5 points.
Yeah, my look at this game was to the total also, because the Cavaliers are still going to play defense. Right. So even though they're not winning games, it's not like it's not because of their defense. So as long as their defense holds to form, I'll still kind of try to play the totals with them. In the last 4 games. I'm trying to get that number up here. Sorry, just 1 second. In the last 4 games, they are allowing, bear with me, guys, 107 points a game. So I'll take the under in that spot because not only are they going to continue to play defense, their offense kind of sucks right now. So, and I know I'm not mentioning the Hawks. The Hawks are less predictable. I know what to expect the Cavaliers. I don't really know what to expect from the Hawks. If I had to guess, the Hawks are going to allow the Cavaliers to score more points than they usually do, which is not a good thing for my over. But again, my under. But again, how many points are we really talking about? The fact that they made an emergency signing of Rajon Rondo in 2021 tells you all you need to know about how desperate they are in the backcourt. So. Yeah.
What do you think? You think Kevin Love plays on the back-to-back? I know they've been kind of timid with him on those back-to-back situations. Do you think does Kevin Love play? And if he doesn't play, that certainly plays to the under, right?
I would think that he does play only because his minutes are so low these days. He only plays 21 minutes a game.
Right.
So what are you really holding him out for? You don't even allow him to play, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of minutes in a normal situation. So he should be good to go. If this guy can't play 21 minutes a game in a back-to-back situation, then what the hell are you even paying him for?
Exactly. Kawhi Leonard does the same thing, right? That guy I think he's played one back-to-back in 5 years or something like that.
But at least he can deliver you a fucking championship. Kevin Love,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
What's he doing?
That's fair. That's totally fair. And by the way, I did do my bragging tour while you were gone about the Sixers going ahead and getting things done last night. I did that while you were away, so you didn't have to experience the pain here on camera.
Oh no, that's fine. That's a good win by you. It's a good call by you because they won outright, right? You had them plus the points.
Yeah.
I love that Joel Embiid still thinks that he's a WWE wrestler and is talking trash while his team is struggling against a team that they need to chase. So now basically what you have is a situation where every time the Nets play you, they're going to take it personally, and they're better than you are. So congratulations, Joel Embiid. Good job. You really seem to get it after all these years.
Well, you know the old saying, a broken clock is right twice a day. So I'd rather be lucky than good. So I got one of them. I'll take it. I'll take it right here. Let's go to our last game on the docket. Spurs at Grizzlies. I put this up here because I like the Grizzlies. I know 5.5. It's under 2 possessions. I think Steven Adams, first of all, who's not my favorite player in the league, he should absolutely dominate on the inside. No DeJounte Murray for San Antonio, so it's Derek White and the rest of that crew, Lonnie Walker and Keldon Johnson. I just don't see. I kind of lean to the over in this one. I don't think how the Spurs stop this Grizzlies offense. John Morant should absolutely have his way. This one could be smack city for me. I think Memphis beats the brakes off the Spurs. -5.5 was too low. I'm going to take. In my opinion, they have the advantage on the backcourt. They have the advantage on the wing, and they have the advantage in the front court. Am I missing something here? Why are the Grizzlies not favored by more?
The only thing you're missing is that they also have a pretty good rest advantage. They haven't played since Monday. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but they've been off all week. Listen, the only reason I haven't already bet this game is because it kind of seems like a square play. I will say to you,
square as shit. I'm square as hell.
No, that's fine. I mean, a lot of plays are fucking square plays. The point is, why is the line trending down?
It freaks me out. I don't understand.
It's inherently suspicious to me that this line is already moved a point and a half. Like, there has to be some information that we don't know.
I've been looking for it, and I can't fucking find it. I've been looking for it.
Is it because the Spurs are better on the road than they are at home? Again, I've already been over this. They score more, but they allow way more. So I actually would take the over here.
Yeah, me too.
That's where my lean is. I feel like there's some kind of information that we don't know. But again, even that's trending up. It started at 224.5, now it's up to 226.5, which means the value is pretty much almost gone. I mean, once it gets to like 228 and up, I don't even want any part of that either. I don't know, man. This is a sketchy one. I guess, gun to my head, I would take the over. If you ask me for a side, it's Grizzlies or nothing. Unless it goes to over 6, then I would think about the Spurs possibly.
Probably not. I'm just not going to overthink it. I always get annoyed by the square and the sharp plays. Everyone's the sharp money's coming in on this. Let me tell you what all that means is a bunch of people who think they smart pick the shittiest teams they can find, and if it wins, they act like they're sharp money. Just because they're a shitty team and you pick them does not make you sharp. I constantly have to tell people that. And I would rather win a square play than lose a sharp play any day of the week.
Can I just say, as someone who used to be like, I've had line movers call me boss. Let's just say that. I don't want to say too much.
Sure.
Okay. The sharp money comes in super, super early. Like, NFL sharp money is coming in like Sunday at night for the books that have it out Monday morning, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Once you get past a certain hour with basketball, once you get past a certain day with football, it's not sharp money anymore.
Exactly.
Let's calm down, okay?
And sharp people, you're not smart if you're betting the NFL a week before right now with the way COVID is and everything else. You are absolutely fucking insane if you try to bet the NFL anything before Sunday morning.
Look, you want to know when sharp money comes in the NBA. Like, if the line, for example, this Bulls Pacers line, it opened at 5 and it's at 3 now. If you woke up this morning and you saw that it opened at 5, and by the time you woke up, it already had moved to 3, that's sharp money.
Exactly.
The people that do this for a living are up at that time betting the shit out of it, even at those reduced limits. Because if you guys don't know, most books, well, all the books worth their weight, reduce the amount of money you can bet up to a certain time. Even with the NFL, like in the beginning of the week, you can't max bet a game.
Exactly.
So just be careful with this sharp money bullshit, because I hear people talk about gambling all day and they're like, sharp money. Shut the fuck up, bro.
It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. It pisses me off. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in the betting world. But for me, I know we got off on the tangent. We had time. We only covered a few games here. I like Memphis here. I'm just not going to overthink it. When I look at a roster and I look at a starting 5 and I look at a bench and I see an advantage on every level, I'm taking the team with the advantage. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm taking the Grizzlies.
I hear you, boy. I hear you, bro. I'm probably gonna get on the Grizzlies too, just because it's still at that good number at 5.5. Once it gets to 6 or 6.5, there's no more value for me there. So it would be at this number or nothing. So
100% agree.
Unless you got anything more to add, let's get to our officials.
Let's go. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first since I was late. I got Suns minus 3.5, and that's another one of these super suspicious lines. Yeah. I'm sure you're going to hear people all day say sharp money has been taking that down because it was at 5 just a couple of hours ago, and now it's at 3.5. Is it not possible that people in the like for example, if you're in the Boston area, there ain't no goddamn way you're getting it at this number. No way you're getting it at this number, right? So it's Boston fans moving this number to what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm sure in the New England area, you're probably seeing 4.5, even still at the old number 5. But anyways, I got Suns minus 3.5. If anyone in the chat is in that New England area, holla at me and let me know what you guys see locally, because I doubt you're going to get a number as nice as 3.5. And Bulls Pacers over 221.5. I just like that number. What you got for us, Kyle?
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm with you. I like the Suns minus 3.5. It's son, to quote Junior, right? We're taking the Suns. We're taking them all day, and that's official for me. And like I said, I'm not going to overthink it. I don't give a damn how square it is. I see too many advantages for Memphis. Oh, yeah, and they're at home. I think the Grizzlies beat the brakes off the Spurs tonight. I'll take them at minus 5.5.
Love it. Love it.
I think that's it. I think that's it for our show today. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, help us out, share it out with your friends. Follow us on Twitter at BMR Reviews. Follow myself and Junior at Junior Browne 21 at DFS Bachelor. Be safe. Have a happy new year. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And
don't do most of the things he would do, by the way.
Yeah, don't do most of the things I would do. That's all bad. It's all bad. It's all dangerous. Just leave that to me. I'll sort that out on this end. Thank you for those of you who like the no beard. For those of you who want the beard back, I'll talk to the missus and see what she says. It's really not up to me anymore. I'm about to turn 40. I got to do what I got to do to get some. You know what I mean? So I got to ask the boss there. I hope you all have a safe weekend. Happy New Year, and we'll see you.
Happy New Year, everybody.